I want to welcome Heather to this Confirm Your Type instructional video. Hello, Heather.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
So you're here because you haven't been able to confirm your type.
That's right.
Now, have you read the book?
Yes.
Discover Your Type of Beauty. You've watched the
Yes.
online course.
Lots of times.
Lots of times. And did you make a decision anywhere in your process?
Yes.
What did you decide?
I decided I was a 2.
Okay.
And then I decided I wasn't a 2.
Okay. And then did you decide something else?
No.
So you just decided you weren't a 2. I'm a 2,
Decided
but I'm
maybe
not a 2.
I was a type 5.
I haven't discovered a type 5 yet. That will be earth-shattering in my world if a type 5 human being ever shows up. I don't know what that looks like. But hey. So, okay, just really briefly then, what did you decide your type 2, what did you assess was expressing in you that you said, oh, I'm a type 2 because?
I felt like I look like a type 2, but I don't feel like a type 2.
Okay, so you thought your physical characteristics were type 2.
Yeah.
Then what doesn't feel, what do you feel like then?
I act like a 1. I'm pretty...
So you're more of an extrovert.
Yes.
Your energy's
There's
moving.
no intro in me.
Okay, so you recognize you have a more extrovert energy,
Right.
meaning it moves out.
Yeah.
Okay. Introvert, think of it, and I teach this I think in my book, It's Just My Nature. I go into this more, or we have a blog post on it. I've created a lot of stuff. I think it's a blog post, though, that I talk about extrovert, introvert being a movement of energy, not a personality trait. Extrovert energy moves out, introvert energy moves in. So you recognize that in yourself, that you have an outward moving energy.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, you would not be a type 2. That's
So then I
correct.
started to doubt whether I was faking that
Oh.
extrovert, and really I should be an introvert.
No,
So yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're just like letting it happen.
Okay.
It's just there.
It's just me.
It's just natural.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you would have had a lot of side effects. Type 2 people that are really extroverting themselves get ill.
Oh, no.
They get really tired too. So, and you enjoy it. You love engaging.
It's hard to be quiet
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'd have to be a type 1 or a type 3 then,
Yeah.
based on that.
And 3s are just so stinking cute, but it just doesn't seem right.
What doesn't seem right about that?
I don't know. I just don't think I could pull it off.
Well, today is a day of awakening. You are a type 3.
Really? No.
Yes, very much so.
That's when I'm like, no, never.
Why? Why would you
I
cancel
don't know,
that out?
because it's the cutest clothes.
Well,
and just
you
the
must be drawn to
chunkiness.
it.
Oh, it's so nice.
Well, I'm amazed how many women are like, what they want, they think they can't have.
And then maybe I was afraid because I'm like, oh, I am bossy, but I don't want to be bossy.
Well, let's say our energy pushes forward. What
Okay.
you do with that can sometimes look like bossy. But again, you have a choice with that energy. You defined it as a certain personality trait. When I'm looking at it as energy, you have a push forward, determined movement. Swiftly moving through life with determination. Right. Okay, if you choose to use that energy to boss people around, it's not so favorable. But you can also use that energy to do a lot of really cool stuff in life.
Right. Because I do tend to, if I get involved in something,
Go for it.
we go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, you just like to take on a bigger thing, trying to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see all this in yourself.
Yeah.
But I want you to notice that you were really drawn to the whole look of a type 3,
Yeah.
going, oh,
I wish.
I wish, but I can't have what I want. I mean, that's just limited thinking. That's just, acquired conditioning that says you got to settle for something you can't have. See, that's just a lot of my work. Remembering Wholeness is a great book to read to get out of that kind of thinking,
Right.
to believe, to really open up. But let's look at, I want to point out your features because you definitely have type 3 features.
Okay.
And you're going to pull this off beautifully.
Okay.
I'm very excited.
I trust you.
You will look amazing. Okay, starting with your face, we're looking at points and angles are what we're first looking for. You have the placement of your mouth is even asymmetrical. It comes to a little bit of a slant, even when it's just still like that. You can see this is straight, but your lips are slanted just a little. in this little peak is a little higher than this one. So that's an asymmetrical movement
Okay.
that I'm noticing. You do have the more textured quality of skin. We don't hit circles under our eyes, we get V's right here.
I do
because
have a V.
Yeah, because you're not wearing type 3 colors. The shadows cast and the irregulation we're now seeing in your pigmentation is showing us these lines. They'll disappear when you dress your truth. The swift movement up your brow, it does have a swift arc then right here, creating this more dynamic angular quality with the deep point here and the deep point here. Your nose bridge is pretty straight. It has more of a type 4 movement to it, but it is coming to a strong point right here. Your face shape, it's a little softened down here. It's not a strong chiseled jawline, so that's not so depictive of your type 3. But definitely when I look at your face overall, I see predominantly type 3 based on what I've just pointed out. So let's look at your hands. And I want you to show this as well. You love this substantial metal.
Yes.
And that's your type 3. You're drawn to that. This is very, it's
get
not
to
the
keep
right
mine.
metal, but this is a type 3 scale. It's chunky,
Yeah.
substantial. Yeah. I see the type 3 more in your knuckles here. They're deeper lines. This is not really typical type 3. This is pretty smooth right here. But we can see it here in these lines.
So I have tons of lines, always have in my hand.
Well, that's it. Just flip your hand over. Yeah, you can see you actually have more texture on this side of your palm than the top.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're seeing the texture here, which is type 3. They're just deeper lines.
Okay.
We get deeper lines.
Really
Smile.
deep.
Yeah. I know, I have those lines. These are as well. These are your nasal labial folds. I think the official name. I don't know if I said that right, but I've really tried to learn that because ours are deeper. They just are a much stronger, create a much deeper V on each side of the mouth.
Wow.
Well, it sounds like you're
I get
okay
to go
with this.
shopping.
Yeah.
I don't think I own. Oh, actually, I do have a couple things that I put to the back of my closet that I love.
Well, you're gonna have to
Pull 'em out.
You're gonna have to come out of the closet. You're type 3.
Awesome.
Notice how you walk. I want you to notice things now moving forward that you walk with a little heavier foot
I
plant.
totally do.
Okay. You talk a little louder. You do.
Yeah.
These qualities of being more substantial in your presence.
I thought everybody else was just quiet.
No, we honestly, sorry, we are just, that could be true. Maybe our volume is
right.
the norm. Everybody else is too quiet.
I think so.
And they're all walking way too lightly.
Coming down those stairs like they're deer. So
I
quiet.
know. But it's funny because even in small children, they pound around too. It just, we're born this way.
Yeah.
So we'll embrace it and look amazing.
Awesome. I get to dress like you.
Well, in your own version.
Yeah.
Because that's really important to us in the Dressing Your
Yeah.
Truth world, to support you creating your own style. Yeah, you're going to do some really cool, because you can have long hair as a type 3. Yeah, but it'll look very edgy and
I'm very open to chopping
very,
it off, too.
very wild woman hair.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I think I'd keep your hair long, but it'll be fun to have you come back and see what you do.
Yeah. Awesome.
So thanks for letting me help you.
Thanks for letting me come.
You're welcome. Well, it's very exciting to welcome Heather back. Is this you? I don't even recognize you.
It's me.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, yeah, these women come back, and honestly, I have to be shown their before pictures because I don't remember, because you just look like you now.
100% different.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Great. I love it.
Yeah. And so now looking back, you had determined you were a type 2. How did you miss the type 3? Or maybe you didn't. You just didn't let yourself have it. Like, how do what have you learned from this process?
I have learned that I did not listen to myself at all. I let somebody else guide me a little bit.
What do I say? A little bit, like quite a bit, I'd say.
Well, it was just a friend, and she just said, like, when I was trying to figure out, she's like, well, we know you're not a 3.
So right away, you didn't give yourself a chance to even look at
Right.
that. Again, and it's so important to listen to your own voice, not the voice of someone else in this process.
And when I was reading it, because I did have a lot of 3 characteristics, but I would just ignore those because I have a lot of empathy and I like to look at things from all situations when dealing with people, and 2s are so nice. I thought I just must be a 2.
Well, type 2s can be, type 3s are nice. I consider myself nice.
So I totally missed it, and I really didn't. I took the course, but I skimmed a lot. Very 3 of me.
Very
I
much,
skimmed over the 3 and the 4 section.
Well, it's interesting, Heather, because, you move through the material like a type 3, but your mind had already settled on something. So you're even, through your assessment, you're able to kind of morph what you thought. You interpreted the type 2 information more to match you more than what the information is really saying.
Right. And I looked at a lot of the type 2 and I'm like, well, I don't do that, but that's just
Except
just
that
me.
one. Except that one,
And
too.
I think I was afraid. I was afraid to be a type 3 because they're bolder. They, sometimes get astigmatism because we say what we think, and
we're told we're pushy or too aggressive, and so in order to avoid that, and I would suspect that you've been told to calm down a fair amount in your life. So in that effort to be calm, you decided you were the more calming energy.
Right.
Because that's who you should be. Again, that whole differentiation between who you really are versus are you assessing yourself based on this feedback you've been given of who you should be in life rather than just who you are. And so you get to unwrap all that shame and let go of all those misperceptions that it's just movement. It's all beautiful as you are. You look amazing.
Thank you.
What do you love the type 3 style?
I do. I love it.
What do you love about it?
I love the colors. For instance, I just went to Canada for 3 weeks and packing was so easy. I took like 5 t-shirts, 2 cardigans, 2 pairs of jeans, and a skirt. And I was good because it just all mixes and matches and it's just easy.
And it's also a challenge in a way, which a type 3 likes, is how many outfits can I make out of these few items?
Right, because nobody knew. I had nothing in my suitcase.
Yeah.
I left it empty so I could bring stuff back.
Yeah, and that's a fun. You've changed your hair.
I've changed my hair completely.
You've brought out more of your natural. You've styled it so that it's that kind of edgy wave and curl that you have.
Yeah.
Put in some highlights.
Yeah, I was in denial. I had curly hair for years and years, but
Life's
apparently it's
easier,
curly.
right?
This is just a blow dryer.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
So,
You're a mom. You have family. You're busy.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So now, any tips for our viewers? What would you recommend in their process of assessment that kind of what you've learned that you would do different now that you're here? What would...
Different, I would definitely, because I remember reading through everything at one point and the thought came, wow, you have a lot of 3. And I pushed it right out. So listening to that little inner voice that we get.
And to your own voice first.
Yeah, I ignored it because I'm like, no, I can't be a 3 because I can't do that. And I'm not, I don't work. So, I just didn't seem like I would be a 3. And so I just...
So you had your own interpretation
Yes.
that a type 3 woman looks very specific, like she's an entrepreneur starting her own business. Yeah, that's not the case. You could be a great homemade, you're a stay-at-home mom and you're just rocking it as a type 3 mom,
And now that I've come to terms with that, it's great. Like, I'm happy the way my life functions, and I stay at home and I do things the way I do them, and
you're gaining more confidence, it sounds like, to really be true to yourself.
Yeah, I feel really free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, those are great takeaways. Who are you listening to? So that's really Heather's tip. Listen to yourself, because that voice is trying to speak to you. And you mentioned to me before we started filming today that what did you really hope for? You had said,
I had the hope for a 3 because they have the best style.
You love the style.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were drawn to that.
Yeah, but I didn't want to type myself based on what style I liked either. So,
Right, which I think's wise, but that was a message for you as well.
Yeah,
that
another
you were
one I
drawn to
ignored.
that movement. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being a role model to other women to support them in assessing themselves correctly, because that's really our goal. It's not, you know your voice, your inner voice. I believe however you experience God, God is trying to speak to you and say, let me show you who you are. You know, who you are is beautiful. Every energy type is amazing, and we're all given the opportunity to embrace that in ourselves. So I'm glad you've embraced that in yourself.
It's been great.
Yeah, and you look fabulous.
Thanks.
Getting a lot of compliments.
I get a ton of compliments.
Yeah.
A ton of compliments.
It's pretty remarkable
Yeah.
how they just show up so many places.
Yeah. I know. It's like even my mother-in-law, who hadn't really complimented me in 20 years, she's like, well, I love your shirt. You know, she just couldn't quite place that.
Yeah, they're not sure what they're trying to compliment,
Yeah.
but it's like, wow, it's amazing.
Because she hadn't seen me at all since,
You had that big transformation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And again, Heather has done this by going through the course. She didn't come in and we, you've done your own transformation based on what you've learned, which we love that we can share that with all of you. So thank you so much for coming back and sharing your experience.
It's been great.
And thanks for watching, and trust your inner voice. It is your truth.